Are you one of the many busy professionals working in offices day in and day out? Do you wonder how some people grow their wealth fast, retire early, and play on workdays? Well, you're in luck, because Ginny Bolling hosts this show, Pivot to Prosperity, where she interviews people that can do just that. Play on workdays. Many guests have become financially free. She also interviews people that are on their journey and people that are in support roles, like attorneys, contractors, brokers, and others. Commercial real estate is the common element. She is on a mission to be sure busy professionals know they can own substantial commercial properties too, like apartments, self-storage facilities, and others, and not have to do the work managing them. Passive investing is the key. Syndications are the typical method. Tax write-offs are some of the biggest rewards. Ginny and partners find the deals, build a strong team and business plan, then offer the investment opportunities to passive investors. New episodes are released every Tuesday at 12, so watch for new releases. If you want to get involved, let us know. You need to get pre-qualified to hear about most deals. See the show notes for contact information.
Hello. Pivot to Prosperity here with Maria Marks. Maria, thank you for coming on. I'm changing the way I'm introducing. I'm like fumbling a little now. I usually say, brought to you, sponsored by Pivotal Real Estate Investments, where we help our investors build wealth and income through commercial real estate. It also improves communities. There we go. Now I'm not going to be stuck and going in circles, right? So Maria, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
I am going to read your bio. You listen close and see if you need to update it, okay? You might have some numbers to update. All right. Maria is a former nurse turned full-time real estate investor and capital raiser. After working in high-pressure hospital environments, especially during COVID-19, Maria realized the urgent need for financial freedom beyond traditional careers. She left nursing to pursue passive income and now helps other professionals to do the same. She's personally raised over $5 million, co-raised $20 million, and onboarded 657 investors into real estate deals. And that is an impressive number, yes. As a general partner in 12 real estate projects across multifamily, storage, and triple net assets, and an LP, limited partner, in 3,500 units nationwide, Maria brings both deep experience and a heart for service. She's the host of the Apartment Wealth podcast, co-founder of She, a woman's faith and wealth community, and a passionate voice for empowering women to invest with confidence and purpose. Her faith is central to everything she does, guiding her investments, leadership, and mission. How about that? That's terrific. You've come a long ways. And how long have you been in real estate now?
I've been in real estate for about 3 years now, really focused in it. There was probably a year where it took me some time to figure out where I wanted to land, but yes, three years I've been in real estate.
That's terrific. That is. And so do you want to share that with the audience, how you ended up coming into real estate?
Oh yeah, it's an interesting story. So it sounds like it's going to be a sad story, but it's really not. I got married in 2021, and then 6 days later, my father-in-law unexpectedly passed away. And after he passed away, I left my mother-in-law kind of at a loss of what to do with her finances. And as she was trying to figure out what to do and how to navigate life with all of these now bills that she had to pay, it kind of started us on this journey, my husband and I, on what happened, what would we do if we were in that situation. So I had just recently left the hospital, as you had nicely said. So thank you for that one. I left the hospital and I had some time to really understand finances, because if this could happen to my mother-in-law, this could happen to me too. I could lose my brand new husband. So I needed to understand what it really meant to invest my finances and grow generational wealth. So that's kind of what led me into real estate. I didn't really want to. It wasn't something I was excited about. You know, someone sets me down and says, here, we're going to talk about investing today. It's not like, yay. But it was something that I backed into because it was an opportunity for me to learn more. And once I started getting into real estate, I started to understand how helping my mother-in-law was kind of like being in a nurse and helping my patients. And once I helped one person, I thought, well, never going back. So here I am.
That's terrific. And actually part of what I would love to hear you say on air though, if you don't mind, is the part
Of
about
course.
how your husband gave you the
Oh yeah.
that, because that's empowering. Some other men want to
It
may
is.
want to use that.
Yes. Well, I have to say this, a lot of men don't want to talk about the fact that, a lot of women aren't very into finances. And I realized that when I grew up, I was on this cycle of listening to other people make financial decisions for me. So I was going to school and I was getting a job to get married and then eventually invest in the stock market because that's all I had known. But the day my husband sat me down, he goes, "You're going to understand finances." I'm like, I failed college math, so I really don't think that's important. You got it. We're good. There's no need for me to know anything else about it. He goes, maybe not. Like, let's have you understand this and understand why we're investing and why we want to invest our money so that it's not just my decision, it's our decision. And I would say a lot of people don't do that and don't take the time to explain that to someone. I'm not the easiest to explain something to. So I have to give him the credit for that. But once he did, and I started to retrain my brain and understand that mindset shift, I really enjoyed the idea of financial freedom and how I can control my own finances.
And it sounds
So
like
thanks.
the tipping point was for you to realize you can still be
Yeah.
of service, because any nurse or someone in those occupations is kind of service oriented, right?
Yeah.
And so, we're trying to open other people's eyes to, you can do this too. So that's a service.
Exactly. I mean, this was his dream. His dream was to do real estate. His dream, he works in landscaping and excavating. So he does the outside of multifamily properties. So that's kind of how he got into multifamily. And so that's where we started to understand what it meant to invest. So this was his dream. And I thought, okay, I'm that type A person. I need to be organized. So I'm going to be the manager, all of these properties. That's going to be me, property manager. Well, we saw how well that landed. About 5 seconds in, I realized I'm much better at talking. And once you help one person through an investment and you can explain it to them and you can make it where it makes sense for everyone, that's where you can figure out your path. And that's how I ended up helping over 600 people get invested into different properties, really understanding their goals, their dreams, their passions, because anyone can invest in real estate, but until you understand it yourself, and I knew that I had to understand it first, then you can explain it to someone else.
So when you are helping that number of
Mhm.
people, and I don't know at what end of it you were, that was investor relations.
Mostly like investor relations. Yeah. Yeah.
Were you the person to help the most with that portal? With
Oh yeah.
with
That
the
portal.
technical
That portal
side?
is a hard place. It's a hard place. I feel like deals can either get done or die at that portal. That portal is the end all be all. I mean, you put anyone in front of a 150-page document where it says all the different ways that this could fail, like all the ways you're going to lose your money. Everyone's going to have questions. They're going to have a situation where this is a no-go for them. So being able to talk them through it, being able to understand what it means to invest in real estate. I mean, to me, the stock market is a great place to invest, but super confusing for someone who comes from healthcare in the nursing field. I have to see results. I have to physically do a test. I have to physically test someone to understand what's going on. And that's kind of what real estate is. I can drive to the property, I can go see it, I can understand it, I can see when we do something to it, and it makes sense to me. So if that can make sense to me, I can then showcase that to someone else. And then it's not as difficult to explain that than it is the stock market. That one's way over my head. Never gonna really get that one. I know that.
Yeah, to me, it's kind of a no-brainer, but why do they call real estate an alternative investment? It's the biggest, oldest, most durable of all time. It's Earth, right?
It's really just the only one. Everything else is alternative in my mind.
Yes, that's yes, That's what I say. Well, that's what I'm going to start saying, actually. But
I think
yeah,
so.
no, and the other comparison I do is that stocks and companies can dissolve into nothing. Your real estate can't
No,
turn into nothing. It's still going to have
it's so
some dirt
scary.
or sand. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it's really just a piece of paper. And at the end of the day, I don't really know what I have and what I've invested in unless I can really go and see it. And that's why I like real estate. It makes sense. It's very cut and dry. Here it is. Here's the property. Here's the business. Makes sense.
Well, it's not to say you shouldn't be diversified to have some of that, but yeah, I'm a big
Correct.
proponent in real estate. And so yeah, you're the queen of portals. How many portals have you mastered?
Oh man. I think it's about 5. I've worked through about 5 portals. And
Write these down so that I know who to call.
I know. I've worked through about 5. And currently, I'm in cash flow portal. That's where I am all the time. And if you see me, it's usually me saying how much I love this portal because it's a better user experience. Not to say that anyone else isn't good and great. It's just where I am today. It's where my investors feel that they're most cared for. And that's where we are. And we can't do these deals. We can't do any big investment without the investors. So if they're not happy, if they're not understanding it, then we can't do a deal. So portal is very important.
This whole discussion is kind of abstract to somebody that doesn't know what we're talking about. It's like a
It's true.
tenant
I'm sorry.
portal when you're paying your apartment rent. It's just a button you click to open this website world where
Right.
you put build your profile so you can fund a deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And get the
And you
update.
have all of your things, all of your investments, all of your paperwork, all your documents. Whenever you're ready to do your taxes, you just download your tax forms, and it is just wonderful when it works.
So yes, cash flow portal is a great one. And yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's where I am right now.
so tell me a good story about one of your deals, something that really stands out that you don't share with everybody so that you get something different on this show.
Well, I always thought that real estate was just an easy thing and that, you do a deal and it'd be fine. But what I've learned in all of these deals that I've been a part of is they're all going to go wrong. Some form or another. Something is going to happen. And they're going to be something like either random or something's going to catch on fire or you never know. But the funniest story that it sounds really bad, but we can laugh about it now. One of the properties next door to my property that I'm on, there was a shooting. There was a shooting at the property, and the interviewer, so the person who was on the news, chose the worst place to stand. They stood on our property with our sign in the background announcing that there was a shooting going at this other property. And of course, all the investors, they just start calling and they're worried. They're like, what's going on? I'm like, guys, it's next door. It's okay. Everyone's safe. But you never know. You never know what you're going to get. Some days everything is normal and other days it's not. And I'm thankful that, you have teams that you can trust who can handle these changes and handle these obstacles because nothing is going to go perfectly. You're going to have a day where some reporter stands in front of your property and it looks really bad, but it wasn't. But you have to know how to deal with that. So just being able to pivot and change and pick up and move on. Yeah, exactly.
You get points for using the word pivot.
Yeah, thank you. I was trying, really, really trying.
So what did you do in that case? Did you try to get them to clarify publicly that it was not
No, because once it was out there, it was already out there. And
Yeah,
it's
that
like,
would make it
oh,
worse,
okay,
probably,
well,
right?
right. Then it's like, okay, well, are we caring about the people? Are we caring about the location? We just had to beef up kind of our security, and it just helped us make our property safer. And it just showed us that we need more security, we need more lights. So if there's going to be more bright lights that will go on when someone walks instead of just lights that aren't going to be there. So it's just things you don't think about. You don't always think that there needs to be a motion detector on every spot, but there needs to be. So
Where,
You
where
just
was
think
this?
about things like that. This was in Texas. It was
Texas.
in Dallas, Texas. So
Oh,
most of
okay.
my property, I live in Indiana. None of my properties are in Indiana. I wish, I would love it, but none of them are. Maybe one day.
Well, here's a tidbit for you because since I've worked so much in the public world with the cities and state and all that, I go to their redevelopment association trade shows and whatnot. And they do make sensors to put on the lights. I don't know if you know this, that will hear gunshots, it will hear glass breaking, it will
I'm gonna
smell,
have to tell.
and it will call you.
Oh, I'm gonna have to tell the property managers.
Yeah, there's
See, I love
real high
learning things like
technology
that.
out there now. Yeah, yeah. But
I mean, the things you learn. Also, things I never thought I would need to learn, but now I do know.
yeah, yeah. Well, interesting. Yeah. So, um, you also hear one of the common horror stories is somebody killed themselves in one of the
Mhm.
apartments. Have you had that happen too, or no?
I personally haven't. Thankful, knock on wood. Knock on wood, we haven't had that happen. We have, like I said, have had fires. Thankfully, everyone has been okay. And we haven't had issues like that, but it is something I think about all the time. And it's really hard. It's really hard to think about that. I mean, yes, we're all about financial freedom and we're all about these deals and it gets exciting, but then you get wrapped up in, just getting the deal done and raising all the money. But at the end of the day, there are people living there. Like you've got to make sure they're okay. So that's also another thought that you have to keep in mind too.
Definitely. Right, right. And hopefully your business plan addresses that. And like you say,
Yeah.
it's the security and whatnot that needs to be done. But so that's great. And it's clear when you read your website that you all have a mission and you're sensitive to people. And so why don't you talk about your mission?
Well, I love that we call ourselves the Wealth Mission Group because you have all these missions in life and you have these dreams, but your wealth mission, something that we don't always talk about. Some can always, you might want a plane, you might want to have a lot of financial freedom opportunities for you. My wealth mission is really to help more women understand that they can do this on their own, that you can do anything that I'm doing, that we're all doing. You can own property, you can find financial freedom on your own, and it's not related to someone else. So I do love to advocate for that while not coming on here to say that, men are horrible and we don't like them. I am married. So I can't say all of that, but it is nice to be able to stand up and say, I understand where my finances are going and what is going on with them. And I'm so thankful that I know what's going on. And that was so important to me and my husband when we sat down to know that we know where our finances are going and how we can help our future family and our future family's family, and we can make that generational wealth. So that's my mission. My wealth mission is to make sure that it's obtainable for everyone.
That's great. That's great. And to teach it also is that it can be a team, it's not if you're
Right.
alone, you're alone, and you can
Right.
do it. But if you have a husband or a significant other that it can and in fact the kids, that's more and more getting
Oh,
them to
that's my
start
favorite.
talking about money differently.
Exactly. It's a mindset. It's not money isn't evil, but worshiping it and making it the center of your livelihood, yeah, that might be not so great. And that's kind of what we've adapted and trying to go into what we can do with this money and how we can help more people with it. So that's just been a huge shift in my life, and I'm just so thankful to be a part of a group that's centered around a wealth mission like this one.
So do you do you have a podcast. Talk about your
I
podcast.
do. My podcast, Apartment Wealth, is all about my journey into getting into real estate, leaving the nursing career and getting into what it means to actually understand finances. And it's just mostly me just talking about what it meant to learn about it and how I got off of the hamster wheel, as I call it, of going through the motions like like everyone else, doing something different.
So I'm going to suggest, well, you might already be connected with her. Do you know who Whitney Elkins Hutton is?
I don't think so.
She is the investor education gal with passiveinvesting.com.
Oh, yes, I do know Whitney.
And she wrote a book called Money for Tomorrow.
Oh, she's so good.
She is. You might want to partner with her too. I did
Yeah.
a special presentation about her book, and it was right after the first of the year, because the idea with her book is to put it with your estate papers so that
Mhm.
something happens to you or both of you, the kids or whoever inherits whatever, know what you live by, because it captures the philosophy, the mindset, everything of what we're talking about in a way that is to help the another generation potentially to be able to pick up the torch. And so yeah, that would be a good connection. But I love what you're
Thank you.
doing. I think that's a great
Thank you.
mission. And the more you can do, the better, because there's so many women out there. Are you doing any
Yeah.
outreach outside of the country, or are you US based primarily?
Mostly US based, just because there's just such a need for it here.
Yeah.
I'm volunteering at my church right now with high school students, high school female students right now, helping them, just really doing a small group, but they're starting to see what I'm doing. And it's very interesting for them to see, like, what are you doing? What are you posting about? What is financial freedom? So it's been fun to be able to educate the youth of America and get them involved.
That was part of my why too. And we talked a little
Mhm.
beforehand on this. My part of my mission is to help kids be happier and more
Yeah.
empowered. And so I'm helping a gal that's in a foster home, a group home.
Mm.
They've got 40 some kids there, and there's no financial literacy training. So in Florida, we have a phenomenal junior achievement group that has a program that I'm trying to get hold of to start doing it right there on premise for them. But yeah, you might have that up there too. Junior achievements
Yeah.
nationwide. And
We don't, but I think it's something we can add in, because I think it's something we can make bigger here. Especially, it's needed. It is so needed to
yeah,
teach that. Financial literacy is huge. And coming out of college or coming out of high school, not understanding all of that is, whew, scary.
I know. My girl graduates in less than a month. And
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
she
Congratulations.
doesn't like some stuff that I'm hoping I can turn around. But we'll see. But so great. That's really, really interesting. So I need to ask you now, because I ask everybody towards the end, is there a pivotal person or event that either has changed your life for where you are today, or that is propelling you towards something in the future?
Yes. The first event that I went to was a Cardone event, and I um, got to listen to Elena Cardone talk about what it meant to be a strong, powerful woman next to a strong, powerful man. And that was very empowering to hear someone talk about how you can both achieve your goals together, and it doesn't have to be one person doing it versus the other. And I loved hearing that. And at that event was where I met some of the people I'm working with today. It's just been so phenomenal where you meet these people at and how your lives change with them. So I got to meet Julie Roy, who is one of my favorite people to talk to. She has helped me just understand more about myself and how I can really really raise capital and kind of help more people understand where their finances are going. So she has done a lot with kind of family planning and deciding how she can help her family, making sure they're all financially taken care of, and then how she can help others do the same. So it's been a really powerful getting to know her story and getting to know more about her. But
Right.
thankful I met her at one of the Elena Cardone events. So if you get to talk to her, she's phenomenal.
So are you nominating her as a pivotal person?
I am. I'm nominating her. I'm nominating Julie Roy. I think you will love her.
All right. Very good. So we'll talk offline about if you're going to call her and tell her, or if I do, and then we'll go from there. But that's terrific. I love to see people share that praise and that gratefulness. So that's a big deal. Very
Yeah.
good. So why don't you tell people how they can reach you?
Well, people can reach me at our Wealth Mission Group website. We have the wealthmissiongroup.com. We also have a YouTube that is at Wealth Mission Group. Find us on YouTube. And we also have a bi-monthly webinar. So twice a month, we are meeting on Tuesdays where we talk about our investment fund. And we talk about what it's like to another alternative investment in real estate. I know we hate that, but it's another form of investing, is a fund. So it's something different than traditional multifamily. So it's different diversification within real estate. So you can find us and find out more information on wealthmissiongroup.com.
Terrific. Okay. Well, thank you so much. And we will put all that in the show notes, of course, and that'll probably be coming out in a month or so, probably. But good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.